Hey everyone, WonderFi Technologies, the DeFi company, which is led by CEO Ben Samaroo, along with Kevin Leary and TikTok sensation Josh Richards, continue to make big time announcements. What's their latest announcement? Find out now in our latest podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the Dales Report podcast, and happy to be joined with the CEO of WonderFi back to the program, Ben Samaroo. How are things?
Shad, things are great. Very busy, but things are great. How are you?
Very good. What an industry. Last time we spoke, you just went public. Now this industry is valued supposedly at $260 billion in 3 months. You surprised at all by how much this has grown? And have you got much sleep in the last 90 days?
So the answer to both of those is no. Not surprised at how much it's grown. That's why we've gone all in on DeFi. It's just so much potential, and we're still just in the early innings. Even in the growth that you're talking about in the last few months, it's still just you know the story. It's really just the first the first kind of couple of steps here, and I haven't gotten a lot of sleep, but it's one of those things where I think we're at such a unique time at the very early innings of what DeFi and really what crypto has to offer to kind of the main audience. And I think we're really uniquely positioned with WonderFi. So it's a super exciting time.
Do you not find the overall general public has learned so much about this industry in 3 months as well? Because this has become a phenomenon across the world. It's a huge paradigm shift. And now you're starting to see, at least from what I'm hearing, and I'm sure you can understand and relate to, people really are starting to understand where this is at and where it could potentially go. Do you find the same?
I definitely find that there's a lot of new awareness and education around crypto and around DeFi.
Yeah.
And it's penetrating a new layer of demographics and of people, and a lot of that is the efforts of companies like Coinbase and FTX and others that are really spending a lot of capital and time and energy on education and really trying to bring this asset class to the masses, and that's where WonderFi fits in as well. I think we're trying to just take the complexity out of this new sort of subset of crypto, or however you want to categorize it, but the democratized, decentralized version of this asset class, and really try to make it more accessible and express what the value and the reason is behind it for people to get involved. Because I think that's where a lot of the drop off happens. Is a lot of people, their first exposure point to crypto is hearing about somebody who made a lot of money in crypto or lost a lot of money in crypto. And so it just feels like this purely financial kind of, almost like a casino style thing, which scares off a lot of people. And that's a big problem, because there's a lot more behind crypto and behind DeFi than making money. It's really democratization of finance. It's about access and inclusivity. And banking for people that don't have access to bank accounts, and credit for people that don't have access to credit. So those types of messages are really important, and can't emphasize that enough.
It's exciting. Well, let's get into some of the announcements that you've made. You've been busy, like I said, 90 days, and really busy last 30 days with the announcement early, or I should say mid part of last month, involving Bill Koutsouras, who is now the chairman of your board of directors. There's some background here with you and Bill from your days at Galaxy Digital. An impressive background, to say the least, where he's been involved in over $25 billion of mergers and acquisition transactions. So clearly he's a valuable asset to your brand and obviously your board of directors. So what's the big takeaway here for investors?
We're growing WonderFi into a leader in the crypto and DeFi space. That's been the vision from day one. And a big part of that is surrounding ourselves with people that contribute to that and that have experience to help us get there. So Bill is such an incredible addition to our board, and he's serving as chairman of our board now. You talked about his M&A background and experience. He comes from the metals and mining world.
Yep.
He still serves on the board of Wheaton, which is a $20 billion company, and as a director on the board of Galaxy Digital. I got connected or sort of reconnected with Bill when he was looking at investing in WonderFi, and so that was our first sort of contact in this context. And it really just he's super passionate about crypto and about decentralization, and immediately he's one of those people where immediately he understood the goal and mission behind WonderFi, and so we really kind of connected on that and had some great conversations, and then right away saw this fit where this is somebody who's been a part of these massive public companies that have done incredible things and grown in very strategic ways. So we're really, I couldn't be more excited to welcome Bill to our board as chairman.
So when you talk about opening up doors, like, does he help accelerate, say your DeFi platform onto bigger crypto exchanges? Because I know that's obviously been a trend that you're building on already, right?
So Bill, I would say, is more, so he has experience on the M&A side and on financing side from the perspective of a board member, and then also he's a successful executive in his own right. And so what he's bringing to the table is more on that side, on the M&A and strategic growth side. So we're really pleased to have him supporting us there on that front.
Good. Well, let's talk about some of these. I know I brought up the crypto exchange thing. You announced last month as well your listing of tokenized WonderFi shares on the FTX exchange, which is why we all know the biggest crypto exchanges, or one of the biggest. It commenced on November 24th. So first off, this is different from your DeFi model. So can you first explain to viewers what tokenized shares are?
Sure. So there's a couple of different versions of tokenized shares. The first one, which I'll explain, is what we have done with FTX and what they offer through their platform, which is tokenized stocks that are backed by actual shares of the company. So they can be redeemed for that for an actual share of the company, versus a synthetic tokenized stock, which doesn't have the backing but is meant to track the price of the stock the way that it trades in whatever the traditional market is.
Right.
The synthetic options have more risk associated with them, and I won't get into the technical details around that. Actually, Sam did some press for WonderFi.
Yeah, I saw that.
And for FTX, and he sort of breaks that down a bit more. But basically, FTX offers the sort of safer option. Obviously, there's still risks associated with it, so everybody should do their own research on that front. But it's really exciting for us because what it does. So going back to our mission around accessibility, inclusivity. This means people that weren't previously able to buy WonderFi stock can now do that. So this is people all across the world, 24/7, and maybe the biggest part of the biggest point coming out of this is people can buy it with crypto.
Right.
So whereas if you want to buy WonderFi stock pre-FTX listing, you need to have a trading account, you need to have a brokerage account, you need to have a bank account, all of these things. Whereas now we have this partner in FTX where they have many users that have crypto on their platform, and now they see a company like WonderFi listed there, and they can trade their BTC, ETH, or USDC, whatever it is for WonderFi stock. So super exciting, and I think we're in really good company there. We're the first Canadian, first sort of small to mid cap company listed. We're in the ranks of the Coinbases, MicroStrategy, Amazon, Apple,
big.
All of those players there. So we're really excited to do that, and it wouldn't have been possible without our relationship with FTX and with Sam.
It's amazing what FTX has turned into. We're in Miami last week. Everywhere at the Miami Heat games, the branding and everything, but you can tell it's definitely become mainstream for sure. Want to talk about obviously volatility and flip side to that. So traditional exchanges, how do you plan to account, I guess, for increased volatility that might happen, let's say overnight, and materialize into when the market opens the next morning for people that do already have access to shares?
And are you talking about with the fact that it's trading 24/7 on
Correct.
FTX? Or
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's, at the end of the day, it's something that's going to more naturally track what is happening in the world and in crypto markets and things like that. So I don't think there's anything to really account for there. A lot of publicly traded crypto companies do have some correlation to Bitcoin, as you'll know. And so if there's a if Bitcoin spikes overnight or drops, or there's any volatility there, likely that'll have impact on any crypto stocks that trade on FTX. So I don't really see it as an issue. It's really kind of more
accessibility.
Accessibility, and I was going to say transparency, which isn't quite the right word, but it's just a reflection of what the fair market value of that asset is at any point. And what we've seen with activity on the FTX platform with WonderFi stock is it does track the trading price on the Neo very well. It's been extremely stable since we've listed it on there. So it's I think we're in a good spot with that now.
Good. Well, another announcement involving a strategic investment of First Ledger Corp, which is the parent company of Bitbuy Technologies. And for those that don't know, Bitbuy is Canada's first approved crypto marketplace. So how does the investment of a cryptocurrency exchange then tie into opportunities to create, I guess, an end-to-end user network for decentralized finance?
So what we focused on with WonderFi, and our first product to market, is the WonderFi App, which is this decentralized application that makes it super easy for people to access DeFi, banking, generate yield, etc.
Yeah.
And that is our core product and flagship product. Yep. When you zoom out more, what we've done is we've partnered with different parties, whether it's DeFi Pulse or Circle or on-ramp payment processors, et cetera, to be able to get people into that ecosystem and then get them the most functionality. And you do that at an early stage as you're growing the company through partnerships. But as you grow, there's opportunities to invest and to acquire companies that are along that offering, so that what we're working towards is really, as you said, sort of an integrated end-to-end experience for people within crypto and within DeFi. And so our relationship with First Ledger Bitbuy as the first licensed or approved crypto marketplace in Canada is a really important one, and it just kind of opens up a lot of opportunities for us there to bring new users into the WonderFi app, ecosystem, offer some of that functionality to Bitbuy users through their platform, and so we're actively exploring all of those opportunities with them now.
When we look at numbers and users, what's the capabilities, do you think, let's say over the next 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, are you asking about WonderFi, what our user projections are? Or?
Well, when I look at this partnership or this, strategic partnership, it's like, what kind of users are we looking at from both parties, and how does this, advance? I can see how it is, but what are the numbers we're looking at right here, the amount of current users, and where you think this will be in 3 to 6 months?
Yeah, so Bitbuy is, they've been around for 5 years. They have a significant amount of users, and we're earlier stage, so we do have a ton of interest in the app and a lot of users that are signed up. But we're working on determining exactly how we're going to integrate those two ecosystems and what the user experience will look like. I'm probably best not to provide specific numbers around that for obvious reasons, but yeah, it opens up a ton of opportunities for us, so we're excited about it.
Well, it speaks volumes of the company that's been around for 5 years. It's already looking to partner with you. Your latest endeavor as well, I got some big names involved here. You outlined that you're going to be launching a financial literacy podcast called Money Goals, which aims to educate the younger generation on cryptocurrency. Great initiative, to say the least. This is really going to boost financial literacy in general. The podcast, as I said, will be called Money Goals and will feature influencers like Josh Richards, obviously Kevin O'Leary. So what do you look, looking to aim with this whole approach? And what kind of branding opportunities does it present for WonderFi, knowing the names that you have involved in this?
The whole idea behind this is being able to create this education platform that's relevant and accessible for Gen Z. What Josh and Marshall, who's the managing partner of Animal Capital, have really touched on is that Gen Z does look at things differently. They look at money, they look at education, the way that they access information is different. And so it's getting away from that textbook education on finance and being able to get into something that's interactive with people that are relevant, whether it's financial experts or influencers or people creating these different opportunities for themselves, like Josh has done in his career, which is really what people care about. It's not reading about the theory and kind of the more kind of dry side of things. It's really understanding like not that that's not important, but it's really understanding what are the experiences and insights that these experts and influencers have that really make it important. And there's a heavy crypto and DeFi component with Money Goals, which definitely serves WonderFi. And I think it's just really important in terms of a trend of to your point, everybody being aware and really talking about crypto now. There's such a need for something like this, which allows people to go on and interact with these people that are kind of leaders in their industries, and we'll be bringing in different financial experts and crypto experts and the whole gambit. So I think it's really going to open up a new way for people to interact and learn about financial, traditional financial world and about the new money in crypto and DeFi.
It's pretty eye-opening when you look at like Josh, for example, who's 19 and has, a social media audience of 40 million plus, and the audience that he's targeting and how much they want to learn with based on this industry. And then you've got Kevin, who's, perhaps, a baby boomer generation. Is it kind of like, just, I don't want to say blow your mind away, but just it's incredible as to how much growth this industry has, regardless of your 19 years old or say 60 years of age, as to how many people really want to learn this new way of doing finance?
I think it makes total sense because the issues that are present in the current financial system are so they're so rampant, and it affects different people in different ways, whether it's people that can't get access to banking, people that can't get credit, people that don't have equal access to investment opportunities. It's really the accessibility and inclusivity piece is just not there right now. And I think we're getting closer, but there's really this big DeFi and crypto, they offer this opportunity to open things up so much. And I think that's why there's so many people driving into the industry, and it's and it's really just the early innings, right? Like we're just getting started, but it's people that are ahead of the curve, like Kevin and Josh, that see where the puck is going and want to get involved and be able to help use their following and audience and sort of power and influence to really sort of spread the message and get more people into this new financial system.
Yeah. When you talk about getting into like this financial system, your brand specifically, you launched an app earlier this week. I'm still learning a little bit about it. What can people, I guess, look forward to, learn, and get excited about? That's the big takeaway that, you want to talk about based off of this.
Sure. Right. So we just announced this week the launch date for the WonderFi app. So it'll be January 25th, coming in the new year. And we're, sequencing that out with a lot of efforts around user acquisition and really just wanting to hit people fresh when they come back from their holidays. So a ton of the interest and a lot of the engagement we're getting from people that are patiently for the app to launch. It really comes down to wanting to understand and access what there is available in DeFi, but not having a simple and easy access point for that. So it's people wanting to be able to trade their assets, people wanting to generate yield through different DeFi protocols, access DeFi indexes, etc. And so that's all accessible through the WonderFi app in a really simple way. And yeah, we're super excited to bring it to market in January. And I think it's going to be something that bring something really new and fresh to the table for the industry.
Big year coming up, don't you think?
It's a big year. I was going to say it's a big month as well. Just in December, I think everybody. I know it's not unique to WonderFi, but in this industry and just in general, it's you typically think you're going to be getting ready to kind of wind things down in December, but I feel like we're just getting started. So it's all really exciting.
I can relate being an entrepreneur, but to your scale, it's impressive to say the least on what has taken place in the last couple of months. But what a list of announcements, and congrats obviously on the work. Keep it going. But and a lot of investors are really getting more and more interested in your story, but I appreciate you taking the time to connect with us today.
Thanks for taking the time, Chad. This is a pleasure.
Yeah. Thanks, Ben.